Hey everyone, this video is going to teach you crucial information to top lane that you can use in every single game you play. With this info, your laning phase should drastically improve, and laning is the most important part of the game by far. If you can master the laning phase, you can have a lead in 99% of your games, which makes climbing way easier. So, let's get started. We're going to be talking about 3 different phases of top lane, the first being the neutral phase. The most simple example of this is at the start of every game, when the minions meet right in the middle. This is called the neutral phase because neither champion has any sort of advantage when it comes to the minions. In this phase, you have multiple things to think about depending on the matchup. Do you want to push or pull the lane? How hard should you trade, etc. So for example, if playing a strong level 1 champion like Jax or Darius, because we're in the neutral phase and minions are dead even, you don't have to worry about the wave as much as the matchup. Jax and Darius can win level 1 versus most champions, so you can just play to trade. Now, in this game, I'm playing Camille vs Renekton. In a straight up fight, Renekton can beat me pretty hard once he gets 50 Fury and uses his W to break through my passive shield while chunking me pretty hard. Since I'm in the neutral phase, I have to decide, do I push, pull, or fight level 1? I'm in a losing level 1 matchup, so I focus on pushing the wave first, which gets me to this point. Now, if we look at the wave, the minions are not even anymore, and I have more than the Renekton does. This is a transition to the next phase, which we'll go over soon. In top lane, the neutral phase is the least common one, as it happens mainly right at the start, and the other two are way more common. But when it does happen, the same concepts apply. If we look here, I'm playing Vi versus Nasus, and the wave is completely even, so I have to go back to the choices I was talking about earlier. Do I want to push, pull, or fight? What I do is irrelevant and it's just matchup dependent. The important part is knowing what you should be thinking at this time. Now let's move on to the next phase. Alright, so first of all, so you don't get confused, phase 2 and 3 are interchangeable, as in one can happen after or before the other, which will make sense in a bit. So if we go back to this Camille game versus Renekton, we said this was transitioning into phase 2, which is the pushing phase. The pushing phase could also be called the aggression phase. In phase 2, this is where you want to be looking to punish mistakes and gain advantages. For the sake of the video, we are not including jungle interaction as that adds too many variables for right now. We're just trying to teach you how you're supposed to be thinking in top lane in the 1v1. Phase 2 is the phase to play aggressive because you are pushing with your wave. The further you push, the bigger your wave should be until you get into their tower range. So let's watch this clip of me playing Camille vs Renekton for you to understand. Camille vs Renekton is extremely Renekton favored. Renekton is Camille's hardest matchup, but because I'm pushing the wave, I still am going to be playing aggressive when I'm supposed to. I haven't pushed that far yet, and don't have a huge minion advantage, so my trade is very small. I just hit him with a Q when he walks up for the CS. Then the next wave arrives and I hit level 2 first. Before we even see what happens, this is another reason why this is the aggression phase of top lane. If we assume the lanes are even, if you're pushing, you'll always be ahead in experience since the wave will be pushing slowly. If you stack up 3 waves, you're going to be 3 waves ahead in experience of the enemy top laner. This is huge for level spike trades like level 2 or level 6. In this game, I hit level 2 and jump in on Renekton, while also having the minion advantage, and the trade is super good even though Renekton smashes Camille. So before going any further, let's jump to a different game where I'm playing the same matchup but from Renekton's side. In the neutral phase, I don't even trade with her and constantly auto the minions, getting Fury and pushing. Once I have 50 Fury and the minion advantage, I'm now in phase 2, so I go in for a trade and win it pretty hard, dropping her to 50% health. But notice, the trade was small, because I only have a small minion advantage and I'm not fully in phase 2. Then I hit level 2 and go all in, nearly killing her and getting her flash. So in the neutral phase, I focused on minions, got pushing, then started punishing mistakes and getting aggressive the further I went on. You might be thinking though, well this was just 2 level 2 all-ins. We're going to get to that soon, right after we cover phase 3. If we jump back over to where I'm playing Camille, I just chunked Renekton really hard. When he goes for this next CS, I chunk him again and get his flash, just barely missing the kill. I crash the wave and dive him under tower, getting first blood and die to the enemy jungler. I don't TP back to lane, and when I get back, look at the minions. He has a huge wave pushing to me, and even though I have the item advantage, I would never want to fight him here. This is phase 3, which is when the lane is pushing to you. Top lane is all about slow pushes back and forth. When the lane is pushing to you like this, even when you have a lead, you have to be extremely careful for multiple reasons. First, the minion wave can easily turn a fight even if you have a 1-0 or 2-0 lead, and like we said in phase 2, when they are pushing, they will have an experience lead. In this game, Renekton just hit level 4 and I'm still level 3, even though I killed him under tower earlier. But it's because I still have to collect all of these minions. Also, let's say I was confident I can win the all-in anyways on Renekton, even with the big wave. If his jungler is waiting behind him and I get baited, not only do I give them a kill, but now I lose this entire wave coming onto my tower, and that alone can lose you a game. This is also why when you're in this phase, you almost want to avoid trading altogether. If you take 1 or 2 bad trades, you might get dove by the enemy top laner or the enemy jungler. At full health, that's a lot harder to do. So I don't go in at all and collect my wave under tower. Now look at the minions again. The waves are even, but right in front of my tower. This is not going back to the neutral phase, but it's actually starting the aggression phase again. This is because of the even minion rule. When the waves are even, whichever side of the lane they are closer to, it will push the opposite way slowly. This is when the chart we looked at earlier comes in. Since we just started the aggression phase, this isn't when I want to be getting super aggressive. Maybe some small trades when Renekton walks into the wave. I still need to build up the wave first. Then at this point, we're pushed up further, have a much bigger wave, and this is when I know I can trade whenever I want and punish any mistakes from Renekton. He's in phase 3 right now, where he should be standing way back, avoiding trades, but since he isn't, I punish by going in with my E and I win the trade extremely hard. So you see, if you watch this video, you would know, okay, the wave is slowly pushing to me, I want to avoid any interaction with Camille. And since he took that big chunk, exactly what I said earlier could happen, happens. I hit level 6 first, since I'm pushing, and dive him under tower, getting another kill. So as you can see, it's not just level 2 spikes. When the enemy slow pushes to you, you let the wave crash and transition from defensive phase to aggression phase again, and look for trades. Now, let's test your knowledge a bit to see if you understand. In this game, I'm playing Jax vs Nasus. With the minion wave looking like this, should he be getting very aggressive, defending himself, or avoiding trades altogether? At this point, he's just starting his slow push, so he doesn't have a level lead yet, or that big of a minion wave. So he should be basically just defending himself if I ever try to trade, but not go too much further than that, while waiting for the wave to stack up. If we let the clip play, Nasus does a good job trading back and brings me to around 60% health. But then he gets overly aggressive when he should be just defending himself, which lets me turn around and finish him off. If he didn't chase me after trading back, this wouldn't be possible and he could have fought in his minion wave if I tried to go in any further, but he chased me out of the wave and it led to his death. Alright guys, so hopefully this video wasn't too confusing, as it's supposed to help you understand what you should be thinking at different times in the lane. Top lane is mostly slow pushes back and forth, so the simple way of saying it is, when the wave is pushing towards them, look to play aggressive, and when it's pushing towards you, play safer. Of course, it's not that simple, and that's why we went into some examples to show you. Hopefully, it all made sense.
By the way, we want to make sure that you know all about Skill Capped. Over on our website, we have over 800 of the absolute best guides for improving in League of Legends and so much more, including direct pro challenger coaching. In fact, if you don't significantly improve while actively using Skill Capped, you can claim a full refund, no questions asked. So there's literally no risk. So be sure to sign up right after this to start climbing today.
That's going to bring us to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.